Hi, my name is Brett Buhner. I'm from Softit Media, and we're going to take a look at how to turn this average article into something a little bit more special in this part with InboundWriter. In future videos, we're going to take a look at Scribe SEO and Zemanta. So in this case, I have InboundWriter installed in my WordPress website, and I'm going to research my topic again. InboundWriter allows you to start off a project, and I've already taken a glimpse of this once, two different ways. One, if you've written text already, typically a couple hundred words, you can hit the Research Automatically button and it will review what you've written and try to come up with a concept of what you're trying to write about and how that might fit within search engine perspective, what results you might want to go after, what keywords you might want to use, etc. Or if you kind of know what your article is about, you might type in the main keywords here. In this case, I do know that it's about Scribe SEO and InboundWriter and Zemanta, and it's about interactive writing tools. So I'm going to try the research automatically and see what InboundWriter thinks of my article. I'm doing this on purpose because even though I think I know what my article is about, I want to make sure that I've got kind of an objective view of it. So I'm running the system. We'll see how it looks. Okay, so my score is back, and InboundWriter, first off, it gives you a score. You can think of this like a percentage scale from 0 to 100. In this case, my initial article scored a 52. Now, where I went to school, that would be a failing grade. But at the end of the day, from my recent experience with InboundWriter, if you look at the color scale, this is probably closer to being representative. I'm just past failing, just out of the red and into the yellow of what would be an average, not necessarily terrible, but an average article. If you can get into the green areas, that can definitely help. As InboundWriter looks at this article, it's come in and it says this article is about Zemanta, InboundWriter, and Scribe. As you glance through this particular article, that is what it's about. I do mention those several different times. The words pop up relatively often, and InboundWriter keeps track of just how much that usage shows up. It actually shows that Zemanta was mentioned 8 times, InboundWriter 8, and Scribe SEO 6. It also gives a rating of what the traffic might be for each of these. Now, Zemanta's been around a lot longer than the other two services and has a search engine rating that's a little bit higher. But down here, just a little further down, it also shows some other keywords that might be just as important. Now, search engine optimization is obviously a very popular search engine topic, as are WordPress plugins. All three of these are WordPress plugins. They do have something to do with search engine optimization, or at least InboundWriter and Scribe SEO do. Zemanta a little bit from the perspective of if you put the right media into an article, it might make it stickier and people might not bounce away, and that can help you in the search engines. They're also about blogging, not so much about Google AdWords or analytics or some of these other topics, but essentially the service is trying to help suggest something to us that might help us hone in on where the potential audience is. That doesn't necessarily mean you should write your article to go after audience that isn't appropriate, but it might help you spot something that you might want to emphasize more to appeal to the right audience. And in this case, I can kind of see that if I talked a little bit more about search engine optimization, actually specifying it, it might help. So as I look back through my article, I see that I mentioned Scribe SEO a couple of different times, and I do mention search engine optimization here, but I don't mention it every single time the acronym SEO comes up. That could be one of the reasons why it's not showing up quite as much. So maybe where I have the acronym a second time in a later paragraph, I should re-emphasize it. So I'm going to change this acronym to the actual words. And as you can see over here, my count automatically went up. I didn't have to hit any buttons or rerun anything. It's actually keeping track of what I write as I write it. I've got a similar situation here. I've got search engine ranking placement for SERPs, which is also a common statistic or measurement that many people look at when they're performing SEO services. So maybe I should mention that. So as I look back at this sentence, it tells you how the content is from a SERP perspective when performing search engine optimization. You'll notice that as soon as that went to 3, it actually bounced up a level, which initially led me to miss it. So if I were to get this in there 2 more times, it would increase my focus term, something that InboundWriter looks at, and that might help move us up. Let's see, regardless, these rates are very cheap for the do-it-yourself search engine optimization wizard. So get it that fourth time there. And there, you'll notice too, I wrote that last set with all in lowercase, didn't capitalize it, but it still picked it up. It's agnostic when it comes to caps. And now I've got a fourth focus term and a focus term that has better potential audience when it comes to this article. And now you can see that my score has gone up. Now there's some other things that does as well. It gives us some tips on things that we might do to improve our article. It says you're using too many focus terms in your title. You only need one or two. In this particular case, that's a little tricky because I'm writing an article specifically about 3 services. I've toyed with different ways to phrase this article. I actually like the concept of the interactive writing tools for WordPress users better, but I don't feel that that's as strong and to the point type of a title as actually mentioning the 3 services. So they are overused and that's hurting my score slightly, but I do like the reasons why I'm doing it. Let's see, the other one says I could improve my score by refining the focus of the document. And it mentions that one of my focus terms doesn't get as good of a search engine pull, Scribe SEO that is, as some of the other potential ones, like WordPress plugin. Let me go back and double check. I do mention WordPress plugin once. Each of these is available in a WordPress plugin. So now we've got a second one, helping, but not quite there yet. Zamanta. Okay, so let's see if we can get WordPress plugin in a couple more times. And now we've got a 5th. In this case, it's bumped our score up to 79. Oops, my AVG is doing a quick scan. Here we go. We've actually moved up our score a little bit. And if I look at the last tip, it says your focus terms aren't used soon enough in your document. So I've mentioned them, but I haven't put them towards the top. So let's take a look at my intro. How to get better results with blog articles has been on my mind. So I'm anecdotally talking about a trip that I made to Los Angeles for Blog World last month in November. I'm not really actually starting out my whole article with the thing that it's supposed to be about. I'm actually not mentioning the first item until this 3rd or 4th sentence line, however you want to look at it. Basically, the surface is telling me, tell them what you're going to tell them. Communications 101. Start off the article by telling them exactly what this article is going to be about. Fixed up one of those things, and my score is now up to 78. Just with a few little things, I've taken what was an average article, worked to improve my focus that I'll actually hit a better audience, a target audience that's a little bit richer, but still cover the specifics that I want to cover, because I don't want to necessarily reach out to everybody that's interested in SEO. I only want to reach out to people that are looking at doing some specific things to optimize articles using tools built into their site and system. So